broke you. The world tore you apart piece by piece. People who promised to stay disappeared. Dreams you held with trembling hands shattered. And somewhere in that silence, you stopped believing you'd ever be whole again. But here you are, breathing, watching, listening. And that means one thing. You've healed. Nothing can hurt you again. Healing doesn't mean you forget the pain. It means you no longer allow it to define you. You've walked through fire, and the flames that once burned you now light your path. That's not survival anymore. That's transformation. Body. The pain that broke you was your teacher. Carl Jung once said, "There is no coming to consciousness without pain." You learned this the hard way. Every heartbreak, every betrayal, every moment you felt unseen, it wasn't random. It was your awakening. You see, most people run from pain. They numb it, hide it, or bury it deep inside their chest, hoping it will disappear. But pain doesn't vanish, it waits. And when you finally stop running and turn to face it, that's when healing begins. Because in the language of the soul, pain is not punishment. It's instruction. It's the universe whispering, "Wake up. You are meant for more than suffering." Pain is the mirror that forces you to see what's real. It strips away illusions, the fake friendships, the shallow ambitions, the lies you tell yourself just to get through the day. It hurts because it shows you what needs to change, and sometimes that truth is unbearable. But the moment you embrace it, something shifts. You stop asking, "Why me?" and start asking, "What is this trying to teach me?" That's the moment pain transforms into wisdom. You faced it. You didn't just survive, you understood. And understanding is the first sign of true strength, because only those who've walked through the darkness can truly see the light. The moment you let go, you became free. There comes a point in every healing journey when you realize something powerful. You can't control what people do to you, but you can control what stays within you. Letting go isn't a weakness. It's the act of reclaiming your energy. It's saying, "I release the people who couldn't love me. I release the moments that broke me. I release the need to keep reopening old wounds just to prove they existed." Forgiveness isn't about them. It's about peace. It's about refusing to let the same pain echo forever. And letting go doesn't mean you stop caring, it means you stop carrying. You stop dragging the weight of memories that were never yours to keep. Because holding on to what hurts you doesn't protect you, it only keeps you bleeding. When you finally loosen your grip, you'll notice something. Silence becomes softer, your thoughts become lighter, and your heart begins to breathe again. That's not forgetting, that's freedom. People think closure comes from others, but it doesn't. Closure comes from you deciding that your peace matters more than your past. You don't need every answer. You don't need every apology. You just need to stop fighting for what is already left. And that's the secret Jung hinted at, the one hidden behind the line, "You've healed. Nothing can hurt you again." Because when you let go of attachment, the world loses its power to wound you. You stop living as a prisoner of the past and start walking as the master of your own peace. Healing is remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. As children, we are pure energy. We laugh easily, we trust quickly, we love without fear. Then life happens. We're told to toughen up, to stop feeling so much, to fit in, to be normal. Slowly, we forget ourselves. We wear masks. We shrink our light to fit in small spaces. But healing, true healing, is the act of remembering. It's removing the layers of fear, shame, and guilt until what remains is your real self, the one who was always enough. You didn't become someone new. You simply came home to yourself. That's why nobody can hurt you anymore. Because you're no longer reaching outward for validation. You found the source within. The strongest souls are the ones who face their shadows. Carl Jung built his entire philosophy on one truth. We all have a shadow. The dark side of the mind we try to ignore. Your anger, your jealousy, your sadness, they're not enemies. They're parts of you asking to be understood. You can't destroy the shadow. You must integrate it. Because when you try to hide your darkness, it controls you from behind the curtain. But when you bring it into the light and say, "I see you, but you no longer control me," you reclaim your power. The bravest people are not the ones who smile all the time. They're the ones who've looked into their own chaos and didn't run from it. They've seen the part of themselves capable of destruction, anger, and fear, and still chose compassion over control. Facing your shadow is like walking through fire. You'll burn away illusions, but what remains is pure. It's the moment you realize that your flaws don't make you broken, they make you human. The ones who face their darkness don't wear masks anymore. They walk with quiet confidence, the kind that comes from surviving themselves. They don't fear rejection because they've already faced their own judgment. They don't seek approval because they've already learned to accept every part of who they are. The world can insult them, reject them, betray them, but it can't shake them because they've already met the worst inside and made peace with it. They know their pain, they know their rage, and they've learned how to hold it with understanding instead of shame. That's when Jung's line becomes truth, not theory. You've healed. Nothing can hurt you again. Not because darkness disappeared, but because you became its light. The return of peace. Healing isn't dramatic. It doesn't come with applause or fireworks. It's quiet like sunrise after a long storm. One day you wake up and realize your mind isn't at war anymore. You stop replaying conversations. You stop chasing explanations. You stop seeking closure from people who were never capable of giving it. Peace arrives when you stop needing life to be perfect and start trusting that you can handle whatever it brings. You become gentle, but don't mistake that gentleness for weakness. Its power is under control. You know how deep pain can go, and that's why you choose peace over chaos, understanding over reaction, silence over argument. That's what healing looks like. Not loud, not proud, just free. The world is still chaotic, but you are not. Look around. Everyone's chasing something: money, love, validation, likes. But when you've healed, you see the illusion. You realize most of the chaos outside comes from the storms inside people's minds. You no longer need to compete with anyone. You no longer need to prove anything. You're not in a race, you're in recovery. And recovery is not a destination, it's a daily practice. Every morning you wake up and choose not to be dragged by yesterday's emotions. That's healing. Every time you choose silence over reaction, that's strength. Every time you choose to love again despite the fear of pain, that's courage. The world hasn't changed, but you have. You've built peace inside that chaos can't touch. You've already won. You've cried enough. You've bled enough. You've doubted yourself enough, and yet you're still standing. That means something. It means the battle wasn't to destroy you, it was to awaken you. The next time life tests you, remember this. You've already been through worse. You've already met your own darkness and come back stronger. So know nothing and nobody can hurt you again. Not because the world changed, but because you did. The wound became wisdom. The pain became power. The chaos became calm. And the one who once broke now walks unshaken. So take a deep breath, forgive the past, and step into this truth. You've healed. Nothing can hurt you again. If this message touched your soul, remember, healing starts with awareness. Follow for more calm, clarity, and psychological truths to rebuild your mind piece by piece. Because peace isn't found, it's created.